Hello everyone, I'm back. Welcome to another edition of the Velvet Lounge. And today, yes, I am once again going to talk about things that sold on eBay in our most popular account. Actually, it's not our most popular account, but it's the one where I sell most of like the antique, vintage, knick-knacky kind of things. And I do try to throw a couple odds and ends in there just to get some interest going. But once again, just a reminder, we are looking to sell a lot of items in bulk to people who are resellers in the upper eastern part of the United States. Why? Because I am the only person who is doing any listing since our daughter is in law school. And because of that, I don't have the capacity to list I'm saying millions, but the hundreds of thousands of items that we come in contact with often. So unfortunately, a lot of those items, and I'm going to say it's mostly probably due to competition's sake, are going into dumpsters and are being tossed into landfills, or they're being recycled. Once in a while, if time permits, which is not often, we might, do a big donation to Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I try to do that a few times a year just out of the goodness of my heart, if nothing else. But many times we just don't have the time, the labor, the resources to continuously do those donations. We could literally fill up their stores often, and they love when they see us. Or actually we have them come pick the stuff up. So if you're interested in trying to get some fresh merchandise that has never hit the resale market, please check out the description of this video. My contact information is down below, as well as the About tab of this YouTube channel. Also, we do have a reselling, we're in search of resellers video that I did. And I'll link that so that you can, see sort of how we're trying to run this. It's once again experimental. It is in no way perfect, and we will tweak it or even see if we continue it in the future. But if you're serious about reselling and you want merchandise similar to what you see on the screen, as well as other things I'm going to show you and things that we never deal with at all, such as clothing is a good example, then please contact me. So, without further ado, again, here are some items that we find that, commonly get tossed into construction dumpsters. So this is a set of Joseph's Christmas musician angels. There are some very cool and expensive ceramics out there that people just do not know have this type of value. These sold for $94.99 plus $14.95 for the shipping and handling, which in reality, I believe the shipping and handling was $8 and some change, and that included insurance. And these are about approximately, I'm going to take out a ruler. I think the tallest one was, was like a little over 6 inches tall. And the shortest one was like maybe 5.5 inches tall, that little fellow in the middle. And they were complete. There were no damages whatsoever. They were really well taken care of. The Hallmark stickers are actually still on these, as well as they're signed underneath. So very well hallmarked, easy to identify. The thing that adds value to these and why they sold for so much is that the set is complete and perfect. So if you find just one, you're not going to make as much. But if someone, let's say, for example, the lute player, if his, little tip of his instrument is broken and someone wants to replace that, then, they're going to pay you maybe, I would say, $10 to maybe $15. But if you have them as a complete original set, it means that they all have the same coloring, the same toning, they were actually painted by the same artist. That's what adds the value. And once again, because we come across so much of this stuff, we have actually recycled things like this in the past. And these are actually going to get recycled until I, just happen to recover them before they hit the bottom of a dumpster. So anyway, just something to keep in mind if you decide to contact me about reselling. And yeah, I don't know why that's there. Actually, let me just check something. I'm going to go back a couple slides. Yeah, we'll go back to here. So, this is something that I came across, and there was a very unique way that I obtained a bunch of sterling silver jewelry that was brand new. Yes, I actually had to pay for these items. So there were maybe 30 plus rings, and I believe that we have maybe 5 or 6 left from that particular purchase. I bought them for very little. They were from a major department store that was getting rid of old inventory. And I believe this one I purchased for I'm going to say maybe $6 or $7. And on top of that, I also had points with that store. And so I was able to use my points to get my overall purchase prices even lower. So this sold for $52.99. It is a simulated emerald and diamond ring. The diamonds are real, but the emerald was man-made, and all of that is down in the description. And it's in sterling silver as the metal. Size 8, which is a really good size if you're buying jewelry for resale. I take a size 7 myself, but I noticed that sizes 7.5, 8, and higher. Some women have much larger fingers, so it's hard for them to find nice costume jewelry or real jewelry. So if I see rings that are really large, I tend to pick those up more often than I do a size 7, because size 7s are pretty common. But in size 7.5s, I think are kind of common too. But once you start getting into size 8s and up, those are some of the sizes that women sometimes have a hard time finding, and you can get more than what you would normally get for a ring like this, simply because, once again, the sizing is hard to find. And the shipping was $6.95 on that. And this is another one that was part of that lucky purchase that I was able to get. And it is a sterling silver white diamond knot ring. So there's all of this. They're tiny little diamonds that are set in there. And this knot pattern is pretty traditional. This one sold for $34.99. And even though this is a very normal standard size, a size 7, which myself and most of the world probably is, it still sold for a good amount. I was actually kind of surprised, and I was really saying to myself, if I have to relist this a couple times, then I will knock the price down, but I didn't have to, so that was pretty awesome. I know I haven't done these videos in a while. I'm behind, but I will do some more recent sales. I'm just catching up on this because we had a family tragedy, and it's, we're still trying to get through that. So anyway, this is a lock set, and it had the original skeleton key. So when you turn the key, yes, the deadbolt, which is really barely a deadbolt, but that actually went in and out. My assumption is that this probably wasn't for a door, but probably for a cabinet. Don't know if that's true or not. And the 4 screws were still with it. And the maker's name is actually, it's hallmarked as well. and I believe it's made of steel. That's how I listed it, and this sold for $15.99 plus $3.95 for shipping and handling. And one of the last things I think I'm going to show you is, and I don't even know like if I was allowed to sell these or not. So what I did is I listed these King Edward mild tobacco 50. There's 50 of them. They're like those cigars, but they're not like the big fat stogies, and they're not the little skinny ones either. They're like right in the middle, I guess. And we actually were working on a project, came along. We found this entire box. It was unopened. Every cigar was in its place, all of them in their original wrapper, as well as each one of them had the band, which is on cigars. And so I was like, wow, the original price on these were 8 cents each. So that will help you date them, because if you purchased, I don't know if this brand is still in business, but if you purchased a single cigar today, probably by the same company, I can guarantee you it would not cost you 8 cents for one. And this entire box sold for $109.99 plus $14.95 for shipping and handling. I believe my actual pay for shipping and handling was like $7 and some change. I did not insure these. I did make sure that they were definitely weatherproofed, because I know that's important when shipping, not when shipping, but when dealing with tobacco. So, yeah, that was and I actually have had these, I'm going to say for at least a couple years. And because I did not know what to do with them, and I actually felt bad about just like tossing them out. That was my first inclination, was just to toss them out. And then I was like, you know what? They don't take up that much room. If I hold on to them for, a little while, big deal. And if eventually I get rid of them, who cares? But when I checked them, they weren't dried out. They seemed to be like in good condition still. Also, the person who purchased them gave us amazing feedback. The one thing I will say is if you ever sell anything like this, you are technically probably selling the box. I'm just saying that's what you're selling. And you can mention that you have like 50 whatevers in the box. But I don't know if I would put the word, I wouldn't put like the word cigars or cigarettes or whatever, in my description, because I think that would be a hit in the algorithm, and it's possible that you will have your listing removed. And of course, if you violate eBay's terms or conditions repeatedly, they might actually remove you completely from their site. Now, as I said, I don't even know if this would have been a violation anyway. Like maybe I could have put those words in, but I didn't take a chance. I was like, hopefully someone really, really wants this box. And if it happens to have contents in it, okay, there you go. So that sold, and like I said, really cool sale. And also one of the things I did with this is I was going to start the bidding at like, I believe $49.99. And I was like, just in case, just to get, get this out there and just to get it sold, I did a buy it now at $109.99 and took a shot in the dark, and I decided to go high, and I can always back out and go lower later if I wanted to. So that's something that I would advise, is don't always start at the bottom of the barrel. That's one of the issues that people are having right now on eBay, is that nosedive, that, total crash to the bottom where they're actually paying eBay versus paying themselves, and PayPal, because PayPal is where most people are, processing their payments. You have to be very careful of that, as well as, something like this. You also have to be careful of what you promote. Promoted listings are really jacking up the prices. as far as what people are paying in fees, because also something like this, if I promoted this, that, you know, and let's say that I don't even know if like cigars are something that, you know, should be in this box or not, then that's also putting a red flag on your listing. So just be careful about what you promote. Also be careful of how much you're paying for promoted listings, because one of the big issues people are having now is so many people are promoting the littlest, stupidest listings, like promote listing a phone case. Like, that's crazy. And then they're paying the promoted listing fee if the item sells, plus they're paying whatever seller's fees, plus they're paying PayPal, plus they have to mail the thing out, so there's postage fees. And if they purchase the item, they're not making any money. This is just a fun hobby, like a charity hobby for them. So you want to be careful of that, as well as, once again, you know, make sure your the descriptions that you are using are not going to cause you any red flags. So thank you so much for tuning in again. Give us a thumbs up and join the party by subscribing. Take care.